Missouri are also facing a rise in unruly students. New tonight, middle school teachers are getting state funding for training on how to focus on keeping students engaged and ultimately participating in their classes. Missouri Capitol Chief Joe McClain explains.
Oftentimes, rural schools won't have the same access to resources and services as a larger urban area. And that's just because of the geography and the population in those areas. But one thing that education officials know for sure is that managing a classroom effectively and efficiently is something teachers need to be able to do in every zip code.
Teaching is a stressful profession, and one of the biggest stressors that we hear from teachers is the classroom behavior of students, and also that a lot of teachers don't feel well trained or equipped to manage some of the behaviors they're seeing in the classroom.
That's where the Mizzou College of Education and Human Development comes in. The department recently received a $4 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education to offer the training remotely to mainly rural-based teachers.
We're really interested in testing whether this program, which has been tested in urban settings, can be just as successful in rural settings when it's delivered virtually.
The training is also exclusively aimed at middle school teachers, which, as most parents probably know, is a challenging developmental period with a lasting impact.
Middle school is such an important time in development, and especially academically, we know that it is a time when students' engagement in school starts to plummet, and so it's such a critical time to hook students back into learning and get them re-engaged in school.
Aside from improving student outcomes, the training is also meant to make the job a little easier on teachers, allowing them to spend more time teaching and less time managing misbehavior. The grant will fund this training program over the next 5 years. In Jefferson City, Joe McClain, First Alert 4.